Hello, welcome to another interesting episode of Legal Tips by Lawyer Grace. As always, I am Lawyer Grace. Thank you, very big thank you to everyone that has been watching, that has been subscribing, that has been resharing and referring people to our YouTube channel. God bless you. Okay, so remember to like, remember to subscribe, and to click on the notification buttons to get more notifications whenever I drop any new video. Just like I said earlier, I am Lawyer Grace. Okay, so Valentine is getting close. Everybody are preparing for Valentine. It's lovers thing, it's lovers preparation, it's lovers hangout. Do we have anything to take into cognizance as Valentine is getting close? Okay, so today I just want to quickly talk about breach of promise to marry. Breach of promise to marry. Is there any legal consequence? It's normal, like it's almost normal for me to tell somebody, oh, don't worry, I'll marry you, to propose to somebody, for us to be preparing for the marriage. Then all of a sudden you tell the person, I am no longer interested. Is there any legal effect? Is there any legal consequence to that? Is there anything? Can I be dragged to court for jilting someone, for telling someone I'm no longer interested in marrying you, or for telling someone I'm no longer interested in a relationship with you? Yes, as Valentine is getting close, a lot of promises will be flying through the air. You are my moon in the star, I'll be with you forever. A lot of things will be happening at this time and moment. Okay, so what do I really want us to talk about? What are the legal effects? What are the legal consequences of breach of promise to marry? Okay, when two people are in a relationship and they've grown into a level that we can say that, okay, they've gone into proposal, they've gone into courtship, then maybe the families have known each other. What they have left at the moment might just be, okay, let us just get married and settle down. Marriage is the only thing left at the moment. Okay, and a party decided that I am no longer interested in this marriage, I'm no longer interested in this relationship. Is there any legal effect? Is there any legal consequence to that? Legally, a promise to marry is known as a legal contract, which is enforceable. It is a legal contract which, if breached, there can be damages, there can be remedies to the person that's the victim. Let me use the word victim in that instance. Yes. Okay, so breach of promise to marry occurs when a person tells the other person, I am no longer interested in this marriage, and maybe they've gone far, just like I said earlier, that is detailed. After Valentine, because of what you want to get and things like that, a lot of promises might be in the air, a lot of things to be said and done. Yes, and after Valentine, the reality might set in. The person jilted can decide to drag you to court by instituting a civil action. A civil action is an action that does not involve the police. A civil action is just between the both of you, involving your legal representative in court. It can be for enforcement of certain things, it can be for damages and a lot of things. Okay, so the person that was jilted can decide to drag you to court to enforce what? To enforce a civil action against you. Yes. Please note this, the fact that the person drag you to court, that doesn't mean that the court will force you that no, you must marry this person. You will not be forced to marry that person. No, the court won't do that. However, what the court will do is to award damages against the person that jilted. That is the person that promised and failed. That is the person that said that I am no longer interested in this our intending marriage. Okay, there might be damages awarded against you. The damages are mostly in monetary terms. And such damages can be like, okay, as in such remedies can be like, number one, maybe you've done all the preparations, you've rented, or you've hired an event planner. Every of the expenses has been incurred by the victim. You might be forced by the court, you might be told by the court to refund those expenses back. victim has actually sent out a lot of intending other suitors. I don't want or spinters. I don't want us to be gender biased here. I don't want to say that okay, this is the gender that does this most. No, we can see that in recent time female also gender. So the party that decide that I am no longer interested can be made to pay some amount of money in form of damages to the person that was jilted. There has been a lot of Pretoria cases in this aspect, but the one I just want to emphasize on is the case of Ezeana versus Atta. And the reason I mention this case, because this is not strictly legal, this is just legal tips for the general public. The reason I mention this case is that the Supreme Court, Part B JSC, Justice of the Supreme Court, mentioned two important conditions that must be proved by the person that is seeking remedy. He mentioned two important things that must be proved by the person seeking remedy before he can be entitled to damages. And one of the conditions is that number one, there must be a promise to marry. How do you establish that there is a promise to marry? I can just say, don't worry, I'll marry you. You can just go out and say, I've seen my wife and introduce her as my intended wife and things like that. But how do you establish it that there is a promise to marry? You can establish it, one, either when the ring has been put in your finger, when there is a ring to that effect, when there is a photographs, maybe there are photographs to show that okay, you've been visiting each other's family, you've been hanging out, or there is a recorded or documentary evidence to establish it that this person has made me to believe we have come into a legal agreement that we are going to get married, and now this person is saying that he or she is no longer interested in this relationship. I'm saying that he or she is no longer interested in this relationship. So documentary evidence, you can prove that there is a promise to marry through documentary evidence. Then the next thing that you can also prove, the next point you can also prove, there are just two things, is that there is a breach of that promise. You must establish it to the court that okay, this person has decided to breach the promise to marry. So before you decide to hire a lawyer, before you decide to proceed to the court to establish a breach of promise to marry, there must be what? There must be a breach of that promise by the other person. And mere postponement of the marriage by saying that I am no longer interested in this marriage, by saying that okay, let us do this wedding maybe next month, okay, that does not stand as a breach of promise to marry. But when there has been constant postponement, maybe when the marriage has been postponed by a party for more than 5 to 6 times, then the court can deduce that there is a breach of promise to marry. Let me just stop there today. Just like I said, as Valentine is getting close, as we're celebrating Valentine on the 14th of February, remember not to drag yourself to court. Remember to be cautious of the things you say. Remember to be cautious of your acts because of what you want to get before Valentine or on Valentine's Day. So breach of promise to marry exists in Nigeria, even though a lot of people are ignorant about it. And that is why in order to expose us to things that we never knew existed, because ignorance of the law is not an excuse. As always, I am Lawyer Grace. Remember to like, remember to subscribe and click on the notification button on my channel, and also please drop your comment. I want to see what your comments are, whether you think that okay, this is good, whether there are things that you want me to work on, whether there are things that you want to encourage me on. Thank you so much. I am Lawyer Grace. Bye.